Hi, my name is Nabilah Khairi as the first presenter, with another members Adlina, Hanis Binti Hamunir, Nureen, Syafiqah Binti Abdullah, Noorsyazhida Bt Zailal, and Batrisya Balqis Binti Khairul Abha. We will be presenting our study case for our group project. First, we will start with case 1. New waves of the COVID-19 outbreak in major parts of the world have sparked fears of a double-dip recession, but Trademark October Heart, the official distributor of Nasdaq cars and parts in Malaysia, remains optimistic that the global economic growth is on track. Due to that, Trademark October Heart is considering 3 possible financing arrangements to raise 100 million of new capital for its business. Alternative 1, finance with only equity. Alternative 2, finance using 50% debt and 50% equity. Alternative 3, finance only new debt. The proceeds may be utilized to finance the working capital requirements, investments, acquisitions, capital expenditure, and general corporate purposes. Currently, the capital structure consists of no debt and 250 million ringgit in equity. There are 100 million shares of common stock currently outstanding, selling at RM2.50 per share. Expected earnings of 200 million before interest and taxes are expected for next period. The interest rate on any debt obtained should be 10%. Calculate the earnings per share for each alternative. To find EPS, we have to first find the EAI, which is EBIT minus interest. So 200 million ringgit minus 0 since there is no debt. So the EAI will be 200 million ringgit. To find EPS, EAI divided by number of shares outstanding times 1 minus TC. So 200 million ringgit divided by 140 million ringgit, which we get from here, 350 million minus by 2.5. Times 1 minus 0.25, then the EPS will be 1 ringgit and 7 cents. For alternative 2, the EAI will be 200 million ringgit minus 50 million times 10%, which is from here, 50 million ringgit debt times 10% interest. Then we'll get the EAI is 195 million ringgit. And then for EPS, 195 million divided by 120 million, which we get from here, 300 million divided by 2.5 times 1 minus 0.25, then we get the EPS of 1 ringgit and 22 cents. For alternative 3, the EAI will be 200 million ringgit minus 100 million of debt times 10% interest, so that will be 190 million ringgit EAI. For EPS, 190 million divided by 100 million shares outstanding times 1 minus 0.25, which will get the EPS 1 ringgit and 43 cents. B. Determine the distribution of income between debt holders, shareholders, and the government for each alternative. For alternative 1, EBIT 200 million ringgit minus interest, but there will be no interest since there is no debt, so the EAR will be 200 million ringgit minus taxation 50 million ringgit, which is 0.25 times 200 million ringgit, so the EAT will be 150 million ringgit. It will be distributed to only shareholders, 150 million ringgit, and the government 50 million ringgit, which we get from the taxation. And for alternative 2, EBIT 200 million ringgit minus interest 5 million ringgit, which is 50 million times 10%, and then the EAI will be 195 million ringgit. So it will be deducted with taxation, which is 48.75 million, which is 0.25 times 195 million, so the EAT will be 146.25 million, and it will be distributed to shareholders and the holders 50% and 50%, so it will get 73.125 million, and to government 48.75 million. For alternative 3, EBIT 200 million ringgit minus interest 10 million ringgit, which is 10% times 100 million ringgit of debt, and then the EAI will be 190 million, and then taxation minus 47.5 million, which is 0.25 times 190 million, then you will get EAT of 142.5 million ringgit. So it will be distributed to debt holder and shareholders. So we will count the debt holder first, 100 million ringgit divided by 250 million ringgit times the EAT 142.5 million. So you will get 57 million ringgit distributed to debt holders. And then to find the shareholders distribution, 142.5 million minus 57 million that we get from here, then you will get 85.5 million ringgit. So distributed to the government is 47.5 million, which is the taxation.
Hi, my name is Noorsyazhida Bt Zailal. I'm a second presenter. So today I will present for question number C. So the question is, in view of the benefits and expenses of the debt funding, the corporation agreed to issue an additional debt of 60 million, resulting a debt to equity ratio of 1.5, primarily for the purpose of increasing its capital requirement. By applying Modigliani-Miller proposition, we need to calculate the value and the overall cost of the capital of the trademark of the brand. So before additional debts, the value of the trademark is, we use the formula value equal to B plus S, so equal to 0 plus 2.250 million. So the value of the company before the additional debts is 250 million. To calculate the cost of the capital, so we use the formula VU equal to EBIT 1 minus DC divided by RO. So RO equal to 200 million 1 minus 0.25 divided by 250 million. It will resulting to 16%. So after company decide to propose additional debts of 60 million, so by increasing the ratio of debts of equity to 1.5, so the value of the company before the additional, we use the formula EBIT 1 minus TC divided by RO plus TCB. So 200 million 1 minus 0.25 divided with 0.6 plus 0.25 multiplied with 60 million, will resulting to 65 million. For cost of capital, RWACC equal to EBIT 1 minus TC divided by the value of the company. 200 million 1 minus 0.25 divided with 265 million. The result will be 0.566 multiplied with 100%. The cost of capital will be 56.6%. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Batrisya Balqis as the third presenter. So for the next question, D, explain why debt level vary across the sectors and within the industry. So one of the reasons why debt level vary across the sectors and within the industry is because the different amount of capital intensive nature that each of the industry need to finance. So capital intensive nature here can be defined as the amount of fixed or real capital that each of the business need to invest in order in the production of the goods and services. Therefore, the amount of capital intensive nature can be different as it depends on the size of the industry itself. Furthermore, debt level can be vary as it depends on the ability of the business itself on how they manage and overcome the debt of level, whether in small or huge amount. In line with that, a matured industry may overcome the riskier amount of debt successfully.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Adlina Hanis Binti Hamunir. I will be presenting case 2 for the MAF project. So the case 2 is Randy Property Berhad is planning to invest in a project which would involve diversification into a new industry. Due to rising health cases nowadays, Randy Property plans to increase business focus in the industry related to the healthcare that is on diagnosis and remote monitoring of heart rhythm disorder. It will become part of Randy Connected Care business, which offer a range of platforms and devices that allow patients to stay at home while being monitored. The management of Randy's Property Berhad are expected to deliver double growth and improve its earning before interest and tax to more than 20% by 2025. Okay. The finance manager of the company has analyzed two companies that are identical in every respect except for their capital. Their market values are in equilibrium as follows. The total value of geared is higher than the total value of the ungeared, which is consistent with the MM. All profits after tax are paid out as dividend, and so there is no dividend growth. The beta value for the ungeared has been calculated at 1. The debt of capital of geared can be considered as risk-free. So, the question is A. Calculate the following. The cost of equity to the equity holders in the geared company, and the beta value of geared using the beta asset formula, and explain the calculated beta. So, for the case 2A, we will be using formula of KE equal to D1 over PO plus G. Therefore, KE is equal to 510 over 3900 plus G, and we will have 13.08%. Next is for the question 2A2. The question is the beta value of geared using the asset beta formula, and explain the calculated beta. So first, we will have to find the beta asset. From the question, we have the proxy equity beta, which is 1, and the value of equity proxy is equal to 6.6 million, and the value of debt is equal to 0. So, to find the beta asset, we have to use the beta formula as well. And the beta formula is equal to beta asset equal to beta equity times value of equity over value of equity plus value of debt times 1 minus t. So, by using the formula, we will have the answer of beta asset is equal to 1. Next, adjust the beta asset to get the new beta equity. As for this question, we have beta asset at 1. So the value of equity of geared is 3.9 million, and the value of debt geared is equal to 4.18 million. Therefore, to find the beta equity, we will use the formula of beta equity equal to BA times value of equity plus value of debts times 1 minus T over value of equity. By using the formula, we will have the beta equity at 1.8. Therefore, the higher the beta, the higher the risk. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Noorsyazhida Bt Abdullah. Now let's go to question number 2B. Explain the leverage effect and implications to companies if earnings are insufficient to cover interest obligations. Leverage is the use of borrowed money to make an investment and return on that investment. Leveraging existing assets to get exponentially more return can be a risk-intensive process and represents a significant aspect of financial strategy and capital structure. For companies, debt acceptance will always result in a high degree of risk due to the fact that earnings would be used to repay the debt, even if profit or cash flow decline. If the company does not have sufficient earnings, leverage can impact the return on equity by reducing the equity value of company and may face bankruptcy. A company that borrows too much money might face bankruptcy during a business downturn, while a less levered company may avoid bankruptcy due to higher liquidity. Now let's go to question number 2C. Discuss the relationship between financial distress and capital structure. They propose the considerations to be addressed by using debt financing. The capital structure defined as a particular combination of debt and equity used by a company to finance its overall operations and growth, while financial distress is a condition in which a company cannot generate sufficient revenues or income and making it unable to meet or pay its financial obligations. If the leverage is increased, it can raise the risk of financial distress. Thus, increasing the possibility of financial distress will lead to reductions in the amount of debt that a business has in its capital structure. When a company faces financial distress, it will reduce the value of the firm. Debt finance is generally both cheaper and easier to raise than equity, because debt finance provides tax shield benefit outweighs the increase in the cost of equity.